Hello everyone. Yes, one of the pillars of my channel, the ketchup to my fries, the thickness to my thighs, and the omelette doux to my fromage. The How to Fix series, and it's been a while that I've made a video like this, so I kind of missed it. I'm actually really excited for this one. So as you saw in the title, in this video we're going to be going over Mauga, specifically his ability to sustain himself. I guess it's his passive. I think it's called Berserker or something, kind of like what's her name, Junker Queen's Adrenaline Rush. So as you guys already know, the way this works, well, it's actually been a while since I made the last one. So the way this works is first I take one key aspect of a character that I think needs to be fixed. We take one thing, we try to see all the ways to kind of, you know, modify and change it and all that type of stuff. And so I kind of just word vomit a bunch of things at the wall for you guys to kind of, you know, judge and see what you like and dislike. I then go into the comments and read every single comment. Then I make a follow-up video of a full rework, not just the one aspect that we kind of decided on, but a full a full rework of the character more holistically. So this one, the follow-up might be maybe next week, because I'm trying to beat Blizzard, trying to beat Blizzard from when they reveal all the changes they're going to be doing. Since I think yesterday or something they actually just said when Mauga's going to be out. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and leave a bunch of comments, because again, I go through everything. I respond to maybe everything. I think normally in all my videos I respond to every comment, usually, if there's like a way to respond. Anyways, as many of you guys already know, my reaction to Mauga when he was released was that he was mainly that he was very weak but super fun, and I think that's generally what everybody kind of thought about him. He was essentially a roadhog without the sustain. Almost everything would counter him, like Anna, Zen, Mei, Bastion, etc. So in my character philosophy video I released last week, I explained how a tank is essentially, well, a tank essentially has 3 unique traits about them that kind of, you know, differentiates them from all the other roles. Number 1 was crowd control, 2 was damage mitigation. I think damage prevention is probably a better way to put that. And number 3 is sustainability. So essentially just a way to increase their health, whether it's healing themselves or generating over health. Characters like Mauga, Hog, and Junker Queen have 0 for damage prevention. 0. And the pattern I've seen with characters who have a 0 in any one of these categories, usually it's made up for in their attack power, right? So you have somebody like Roadhog who didn't have any damage, you know, prevention, but he hit like a truck, right? Every time he would do his combo, he'd probably just, you know, kill that character. You have characters like Zarya, who has no CC, but her damage potential, right, when she's on full 100, she does an insane amount of damage. So yeah, Mauga has 0 damage prevention, but also doesn't have really good sustainability. It's very lacking. So that's what we're focusing on it today. I think that is the key thing that we need to focus on, so that when I make the more holistic rework, we kind of build it around these new changes to his sustainability. So we're aiming to think of creative ways to fix this problem instead of just, you know, changing different values and numbers and things like that. And also, all these ideas I'm going to be listing, they're not necessarily meant to be working together. They're all independent ideas. And, you know, in the comments where we're talking about it, we can mix and match all the ideas we're kind of coming up with. So it could be maybe you like number 1, part A, but then you don't like part B. So we can mix that in with number 3, part B, or something like that. So it's not all together. I'm just throwing a bunch of things at you guys. So yeah, remember at the end to leave a comment, and I'll go over everything. I'll respond to you, and then you know, this video is just for the sustainability, right? We're not trying to modify his overrun ability or how his fire system works, or like the spread of his chain gun or anything. So we're just focusing on his sustainability. So yeah, with that, let's begin. So yeah, currently his adrenaline passive, or his berserker passive, is triggered when he deals critical damage. A way for him to get automatic critical damage is if he sets the enemy on fire and hits them with the volatile gun. And it doesn't even need to be him that sets them on fire, right? I think if Ashe sets them on fire with her dynamite, or if Torbjorn uses his lava, I think that also counts. So with that in mind, that's how he is essentially heals himself, right? So with that in mind, one of the things that grinded my gears about the Overwatch team and how they develop their characters or modify their characters is that they don't double down on what the character is trying to do. But in my videos, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna double down on exactly what makes Mauga unique. And what's that, you ask? It is the use of fire. So now for his cardiac overdrive ability, and this is the big one I wanted to talk about, mainly because of, let me get into it. Actually, I'm gonna make this one the first. Okay, so guys, this was actually gonna be the third thing I talk about, but I'm moving this one up to the first thing that I talk about, because just understanding why he's even getting healing from doing critical damage, I think it's funny. It doesn't make sense, but it's also funny. But then I do find a way to make it make sense. So anyways, the way cardiac overdrive is it works is you activate it and nearby enemies take reduced damage. I think they take 30% reduced damage, and they heal themselves for the damage that they deal, right? And they heal themselves 60% of the damage that they deal. And this only lasts for like 5 seconds. So the thing about cardiac overdrive and even more his berserk passive, it didn't really make any sense to me. Like why is doing critical hit on something like healing him, and how does it even tie into him having a second heart? So I started thinking, right, bear with me guys, this all ties into the rework, but I started thinking about how does this make any sense? So based off his character, when he gets a critical hit, he probably gets so hyped the adrenaline starts like going, like it starts pumping, and and since he has 2 hearts, it should greatly increase his blood flow. And it's actually a fact that if someone could like double or increase the their how fast their heart beats or like their blood flow, it does actually stimulate healing. So let's say that, you cut yourself. If you could like double or triple how fast your heartbeat goes, it does. There's more blood flow going through that area, nourishing everything that needs to be, nourished, all your cells and stuff. And it does promote more healing. So there's actually a video on YouTube somewhere. I don't know if it's Vsauce or I don't know, something where they explain like what would happen if you could control how fast your heartbeat goes. And there a bunch of things happen. Essentially, they explain for you One Piece fans out there, and I'm one of those, how Gear 2 works, which is actually kind of cool. So it does kind of buff humans. So the only problem with something like that is that it would blow up your heart if you could just like increase. If you can make it go so fast that it's like super stimulating your recovery. So it would blow up your heart, which is why only Luffy can do it, right? His heart is made of rubber. But same as Mauga, he has 2 hearts and one of them is mechanical. So there you go. So that's the only way I was able to see how this makes sense, because this guy is just getting so hyped. He has 2 hearts, he's increasing his blood flow, that he's healing himself. So now that we even have that making sense, time to go more into how cardiac overdrive works, because why are his friends or his teammates healing from doing damage? What sense does that make? Well, I thought of that too. So you know how like when you're out drinking with your boys and you're kind of out in town, going ham, and one of your friend has an idea to do something stupid, and you guys are all kind of tipsy, just walking around, and then you guys just kind of capitalize on each other, like, yeah, that's a good idea, we should totally do that dumb thing. And everybody starts like getting hyped and building off of everybody's energy until by the end of the night, you and your boys, everybody's hyped up. Everybody's, going from bar to bar, having a good time. I think that's kind of how this ability works. So my modification for this ability is, instead of having, so originally it was going to be, instead of having it heal themselves, I think that the healing should go to Mauga, right? because I think Mauga is that party boy hype man personality where he sees one of his boys, you know, out at the club, you know, his boy goes, talks to this girl, he gets the girl. Mauga's getting excited. He's like, if you win, we all win. He just has that personality where he gets healing from seeing his boys like succeeding, or girls. It's funny, it actually reminds me of a story. Once me and my friends were at a bar. It's like a bar club thing, kind of low key. Well, not really low key, but you know how some bars, they have kind of like a dance floor for people who want to dance, and you know, you're just kind of like hanging out the bar. You guys have a booth, just kind of talking to each other. One of my friends, he ran into this girl that was visiting from, from Britain or something, the United Kingdom, and she was just visiting for like a week or like a weekend or something, and he was able to you know, get her, and then they left together, and we're all just so happy for him. Like everybody was we're like, yes, yeah. But yeah, that was nice. The next day we find out that she was actually there for her bachelorette party. So we didn't know that at the time, so you know, it's not our fault. But yeah, he got her. They went back to his place, and it was a good time for him. Well, good time for all of us, right? We were happy for our friend. Anyways, so yeah, the reason I think the healing should go to Mauga instead of his team is because he is that guy. He's the guy who's just happy that his boys are doing work, right? He's just like, he's like, oh, you got that headshot? Oh yeah. His adrenaline starts pumping. He's like, let's go even more ham. So so it's kind of like a team effort to heal, you know, your tank. And as I'm saying this, it would actually also make sense for his teammates to heal, right? Because just like in the story I gave, how everybody was happy, everybody's adrenaline was going. Maybe there's a way to kind of spread that around, right? So maybe instead of healing themselves 60%, they heal themselves, let's say 50 or 40% of the damage that they deal. But if they hit somebody that is on fire, that healing can also go to Mauga, right? So if they hit somebody who's on fire, 50% of that damage goes to Mauga for healing, while 50% also goes to them for healing. But if they hit somebody who's not on fire, only the 50% goes to them for healing. So I think that's a pretty good way to do that. So yeah, that'll be my suggestion. Sorry for the tangent, guys. I'm having fun with this one. Mauga just seems like that hype boy. That I have a few friends like that. This go crazy. So first, the easy stuff that I'm going to talk about is his primary and secondary fire. So like we said before, the way he heals himself is if he shoots somebody who is on fire with his volatile gun. I forget what it's called. It's like Cha-Cha or something. It's like Gunny and Cha-Cha, I think, are the names of his guns. So really, the only way I could think we could make his guns apply to him healing more is making the bullets piercing, right? He has piercing bullets, so he can kind of shoot through people and hit more than one person. Now, you know, there's obvious things like how many people can it go through, the fall off, all that type of stuff. But I think we could figure that out, right? It could just be like a dramatically increased fall off damage, or he can only shoot through like one person, so hitting 2 people max per bullet, or you know something like that. The reason for this is so that he could set more than one person on fire at once, just so that there's more targets for him to be able to get the critical hits on with his volatile gun and generate more health, right? If there's more targets for him that can give him healing, that will just result in more healing. And I don't think it'll be a cheap way for him to generate healing, because I think it would actually increase the skill ceiling, right? It'll reward people for lining themselves up correctly or positioning themselves in a way that would allow them to get more people on fire, to generate more targets for themselves. So it could even be something like only the incendiary chain gun is what can pierce a target, and his volatile chain gun can't, right? That way he can make a lot of targets, but he can't really, just shoot 2 people at the same time, generating healing for both of them. Or maybe he can. I could see either one of these versions working like that. So That's up to you guys in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about that. Anyways, the second thing about this is it kind of does what I mentioned earlier about how tanks who are missing one of those 3 elements kind of just put it in their ability to do damage. Because again, let's say Roadhog, the main way he mitigates damage is to kill something before it kills him, right? Kill it before it does more damage to him. So this could be the thing that puts him in that damage realm. Because when he first came out, I could be misremembering. I don't think he did that much damage, or maybe I was just trash in comparison to the other characters who do a ton of damage, like Roadhog and Zarya. So this can be, him joining that club, right, of tanks who are missing an element and are making it up through their damage output.
I would like to interrupt this video to ask you to like and subscribe. If you made it this far in the video, chances are you kind of like what I'm talking about. So, help me out, guys.
The next thing I want to talk about is also pretty easy. The Overrun ability. So I think this one is pretty simple. I think people hit by Mauga while he's running should catch on fire. I think they should either. No, I should make like a caveat for that. When I say catch on fire, I mean either they instantly catch on fire or it contributes to the damage, that adds up for them to catch on fire, right? So let's say he shoots them with his incendiary gun, you have to get a certain amount of damage in before they ignite. So I think if somebody's hit by his Overrun, it should contribute to that amount. So you need less bullets in them to ignite them. But anyways, so I'll just keep saying catch on fire or to ignite them or something, because you guys know what I mean now. Anyways, we're trying to keep the whole igniting the enemy a consistent theme, because that's what he needs to be able to heal himself, right? So let's say he's running into a fight and then he knocks over 2 people and they ignite, and what we're trying to do is just give him more opportunities to make targets for himself to heal himself. Because again, we're not just trying to give him increased numbers, we're just trying to promote useful, purposeful movements. This also increases the skill ceiling, because you'll have people, again, they're going to line themselves up in a good way to be able to hit several people and be able to capitalize off of it. So yeah, with this you kind of have it all, right? More opportunities for healing, a skill ceiling reward, and we're doubling down on what makes him special. And again, the other part of this, and again, they don't have to be together, it could be either or both, but when he lands, everybody in the area should either catch on fire, or it should contribute to him it should contribute to what he needs to ignite them. The closer you are to the center, the longer you're set on fire, or the more it contributes to that threshold you need to attain. And with this, let's say you shoot like the whole team and everybody kind of has some ignition damage on them, and then you just kind of run and jump onto them, and then the entire team is now on fire. This is something your entire team could capitalize on too, right? So yeah, this one's also pretty easy, pretty basic one. I don't think it's too crazy. So yeah, let's go into how I kind of imagine this working. So let's say you're Mauga, walking down the street, and you see your enemy, so you activate your Overrun. You run towards the enemy, you hit 2 people, they catch on fire, or contributes to how much damage you need to put on them to ignite them. And then you jump, you land on 2 other teammates. Maybe one of the people you land on is somebody you had knocked over while you were running, so now that's enough to ignite them. So you pull out Gunny and Cha-Cha and you start blasting. With his piercing bullets, he's able to sustain himself, because he's able to set more than one person on fire, so he has several people that he could kind of shoot at to kind of help sustain himself while he's surrounded by everybody, right? Because if you're going to jump into the fight, your chances are you're going to be surrounded by at least maybe 50%, 180 degrees. But since you have so many targets, you could kind of sustain yourself a pretty good amount. But eventually your HP is going to be running low, right? Your HP is going down, so you need some help from your boys. So you activate cardiac overdrive, And now your boys get hyped. Everybody's in the club. Everybody's like, so everybody now is contributing to your healing because you're able to set people on fire, because you're able to set more than one person on fire at a time. So your entire team now, they know what the mission is. We got to keep our boy alive. So let's target the people that he's setting on fire. So this greatly boosts your healing and also sustains them. So yeah, this was actually funner than I thought it was going to be, and a lot easier to record than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like complicated, but these are pretty easy, things to, very digestible things besides my cardiac overdrive segment. But yeah, that was actually pretty good. So yeah, there you have it. Let me know what you guys think, what you like or didn't like, or what you think can be improved. If you like me just randomly saying stories, because I find it easier to make these videos if it's more conversational, like if I'm just kind of talking right, just like, oh, this reminds me of this thing that happened this one time. So yeah, I think I might be doing that more. I find it more enjoyable and, again, easier to record because it's more natural. So yeah, leave your comments in the comment section. Again, I'm going to go through everything, and then look out for the full rework video, probably coming out next week. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment for the algorithm, and don't forget, I love you.